Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jamie. It's Monday, March 28th. Just doing a quick one here, kind of recapping what I got going on going into this week. Now, I'm going to talk about Volta really quick, and then I'm going to wrap up something I did with Upstart with all these iron condors, 4-option strategies. But Volta, I also want to talk about Tesla. I got a note saying that it's going to potentially split. Volta, if you look at the news, it says that the CEO stepped down as a part of board transition. Okay, so the company reacted, and I think Volta is a good company. It seems like they have a lot of positive things going on this year. But you can see down here on the RSI, again, it's not a suggestion to buy or sell. This is just what I'm doing. I see it drop down around 20, and it's kind of held down there. I think it might drop some more. It could get down to 2 in the 2s, or it could recover. But either way, I was going to grab 1,000 shares, but I grabbed 500 because I'm like, what if it goes down a little bit? And if it does go up, and if it shoots up, I'm okay with that. I think the price target for this one on the analysts, there's 7 analysts here. I didn't check out tip ranks, but it says, let me shrink myself down a bit. The low side is 7, average is 12, and the high is 18. You know what, let's take a look at tip ranks. Let me go to Google. You can do this on your laptop, anywhere. I like tip ranks. Jump in here. Give it a second. VLTA. Right? VLTA. Volta. 1150 is the average price. Okay, so there is a lot of upside. I don't know how long that'll take to recover. It could take minutes, days, months, weeks. I don't know, but I think that there's an upside there. So I'm willing to grab some shares, see if I can make a little bit of money. All right, so that's what I'm looking at this morning. That's the only position I really jumped into. Amazon, Tesla, Google are all going. I mean, for sure, I'm understanding that Amazon is going to split. I forget the date, but I want to say it was, May 28th maybe. And then also, besides Amazon, Google. So those are 20-to-1 ratio splits. And if you ever want to own 100 shares of Google or Amazon, again, it's going to drop to $130, $40, $50 a share, but it'll most likely go back up at some point. So I'm interested in it. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were talking about long-term ownership, just saying that, like, if you had 100 shares and just own them for 10 years versus like selling premium. When you're selling premiums on, selling covered calls, I mean, you could potentially lose those shares, but I like the idea. Keep flipping those. Those pay higher premiums. They do right now. I mean, that would drop down. But Upstart, I was getting $400-$500 for those premium. For those calls on those premiums. Tesla, I also heard, is talking about splitting, right? Or is it? Why are Tesla? This is in Webull. Why are Tesla shares rising? So pre-market, it says that shares are trading higher by 5.8% during Monday's pre-market after the company. It looks like there's a typo there. Probably shared its plan to request stockholder approval at the upcoming 2022 annual meeting of stockholders for the increase in the number of authorized shares of common stock in order to enable a stock split of the company's common stock in the form of a stock dividend. So, long as the board of directors approves it, it says Tesla's board of directors approved the management's proposal that the stock dividend will be contingent on the final board approval, which most likely, I had heard somewhere else that this would maybe happen over the next year or so, but maybe it'll happen a little sooner, which I think is a good move for Tesla. I still think Tesla's worth a good bit of money, so I'm definitely going to be partaking in that. I'm wondering if it'll be a 5-to-1 split versus a 20-to-1. I'll be really curious to see how that works out. Okay, so this, if you remember last week, I think I posted up where I was around 84, 8,500. I jumped up, over the week. So now it says I'm down $106, right? But yeah, I've been stuck at $3,000. I put a couple grand in because I wanted to buy some Upstart. Upstart's kind of been pretty good. But what I had done is I had bought these. Let's see, where's the history here? Show all. I bought $1 of Doge, by the way. I had bought these shares. What am I talking about? I bought these 4 option strategies, and you could see it. Let me see if it comes up here. That doesn't show up. Oh, there we go. So you'll see Tesla exercise 92. I lost 92,000, right? And then it says Upstart, I gained 127,000, 128,000, right? So that's not real. It is money, but I didn't have that much money in the account. It's just I had 100 shares through an option call and put, and they just got assigned. So what happened was it said that my $106 per share on 75 shares of Upstart, my cost basis went from 106 to 127. I wasn't sure why. Those 10, I had 10 contracts on a 4 option strategy. I never did that before. Now it was up $1,200 at one point, and I don't know if I can get in here. I don't want to. Let me see here. If I go to galleries, no pictures. Pretty sure I took a couple pictures of those. All right, let's take a look here. So this, I took a little video where it said, I was messing with my wife. I was like, hey, look, I got 1,000 shares of Apple, at 174,000. She's like, what? Sell them. But it just hadn't settled, and that's how it looked. It said that I also had 100 shares of Tesla in here, which I don't keep 100 shares of Tesla in Robinhood. At an average cost of $920. I think it's at like $1,070 right now. But I was just messing with her. But that's how it got assigned, and that's how it looked, in there. You can see here where it shows that I have a balance of 101 and 174 for Apple and Tesla. And I have a call in at the time I took the screenshot because I was curious why my Upstart shares were showing up as 127 per. But in the end, the contracts, they still come out to be the same. All right, so this is what I want to show you. So my Upstart 4 option strategy, I was showing. Oh, where? How do I get over there? There we go. I keep hitting the wrong. There we go. This is the one. So this is what I want to hit. So I had 10 debits, 4 option strategy. I was up $1,100, $1,200 at one point, and I was like, oh, that's great. It's awesome. The percentage was really good, but I couldn't close it. I'd never done one of those before. Maybe the problem was I had 10 of them. I averaged at 113, for all 4 legs, the open and close. It had gone to 150, 160, but I had put a lower price, like 123, 133, 143. I kept trying. I tried to do 10. I tried to do 1. None of them would fill. So I figured I was going to end up taking a loss, and I figured the most I could lose, I think, was $1,000. So it was disappointing to be up 1,000 and not be able to get any of that profit, and end up having to take a loss, because that's what it ended up being, I think, in some regard. So at the end of the day, my P&L in Robinhood, I knew that the Robinhood account would balance out between those other ones that I had. I had some put option, I had some spreads I had for calls and put. I had debit spreads. I had iron condors. I had iron butterflies. I was just kind of trying everything out, and I wasn't doing it completely blind. I could see the maximum profit and loss. And there's a lot of guys out there that can really give you some deep insight and break everything down like a master. I'm not. I was just kind of experimenting, and I figured, okay, the most I can lose is 1,000. Was at 85, so the worst I could go to was like around 75. It actually went down to like 70. It went down to like 71, right, or 7,000. I was like, oh man, which was disappointing, right? And then it was as high as one time it was at 9,000. It's not showing up here, but I was like, if I stay somewhere around 8, I'd be okay at the end of the day. So and I was. So I sold those Upstart shares that I had this morning, even though I said my average cost was 127, and I picked up $300-400. So at the end of the day, I only lost a couple, $300 or so. But it was a really great lesson to see how it works. I'd never done that before, and I'm not telling you to go out and just blindly dive into something, because it could be really painful if you don't know what you're doing. One of the mistakes I made with the 10 contracts I had for the 4 option strategies was I didn't realize, I thought the max loss was 100, because most of the ones I did was like you could lose $30, you could lose $60 or 100, and I was only willing to lose a little bit of money, and the upside was like, some of them were 5x, 10x. But if your probabilities are to lose, it doesn't matter what the upside is, because it's more probable that you're going to lose. I think I just had enough of them where the profit and loss, I didn't lose that much. It's like going to the roulette table at the casino, and I don't like to play that way. I was just more trying to get the experience more than just a gambling. But to buy 10 of them, my loss was at 1,000. After I did the math, I was like, oh man, the most I could lose is $1,113. But the upside was like 10,000. So I was like, oh, it's a lot of upside, but what does it matter if you can't close them, right? And when I actually called Robinhood, or they called me back within 30, they were pretty good. And they were explaining to me, because I didn't know, I was asking, why do I have, my cost basis went up, and it basically just pushes whatever shares you have after they get assigned. So whether you made money or lost money, and it averages out your cost basis if you have those shares. So they were pretty good about calling me back, but if I wouldn't have had the shares, it would have came out to the same math, meaning my account still would have showed $8,000 or $8,100 or something like that. So I just wanted to get the experience to see how it worked, and now this week when I go into the next one, I have a better idea of buying condors and max profits, max losses. So that's it. But I want to talk about the Volta thing and anything else that I do. So I hope everybody has a great Monday. I will talk to you tomorrow.